scripture. I want to deal with the latter part of verse 33. But I was let down in a basket. Amen. Through a window in the wall and escaped from his hand. And I want to talk to us this evening quickly from this subject, a preacher in a basket.
Come on, preacher.
A preacher in a basket. Beloved, we have seen Paul before Festus and Felix. We have seen Paul before Agrippa and Bernice. We have seen Paul in a shipwreck. We have seen Paul on the island of Miletus.
Yes, sir.
We have seen Paul in prison. We have seen Paul stoned, dragged out to the city and left for dead. We have seen Paul beaten of the Jews, and we have seen him beaten of the Gentiles with many stripes. But here in our text, we see Paul in a basket. He is in Damascus, and Damascus was a white city of glistering architecture. Damascus was called by some the eye of the east. Damascus was called by some a pearl set amidst emeralds. Paul was in Damascus. And there was in Damascus a fierce conspiracy. There was a group in Damascus set on Paul's destruction. Beloved, if you are persecuted, if you are buffeted about, if you find that this world is no friend to grace, help you on to God.
Yes.
Be not dismayed. Come to know that you're in good company.
Yes, sir.
For so persecuted the prophets which were before you.
Yes.
If you are being persecuted for righteousness' sake, just remember the three Hebrew believers had their fiery furnace. Daniel had his den of lions.
Yes.
Joseph had his unjust prison sentence. Am I in here by myself? Jeremiah had his dungeon. Just remember they persecuted the prophets which were before you. Paul is in Damascus and there's stiff opposition to him. Has been determined by his opposition that he should be destroyed, but God had some friends in the city. These friends of God were Paul's friends.
Yes.
If you love God, you will love one another.
Amen.
If you love God, you will love the people of God. God has some friends in Damascus.
All right.
God has some friends in every city.
Okay.
And humanly speaking, God needs friends. We like to talk about God's friendship for us, but forget not, God needs friends also.
Amen.
God would like for us to be his friends, and if you be his friend, he will come by and visit with you.
Yes.
If you be his friend, every now and then he will come by to see about you.
Yes.
He will.
Abraham was God's friend. Noah was God's friend. And he speaks to his friends. He holds converse with his friends. He communes with his friends. He has some friends in Damascus. If your imagination is working with you, you see the organized opposition. And you know, church, somehow opposition to right and righteousness is always better organized than the supporters of right and righteousness.
Yes. Yes.
You take a church fight, the folk who are against the pastor are far better organized than those who are for the pastor.
Yes.
You see, those who are for the pastor, after they make 2 meetings, they start staying at home. But the opposition makes every meeting.
Yes.
They get some help.
Come on now, preacher.
Well now.
Come on, preacher.
The opposition to Paul is organized. And if your imagination is working, you see one group going in one section of the city, and you see another group going in another section of the city. They are in search of a gospel preacher. They wish to put him to death. He is God's spokesman, and they want to hush his voice, silence his voice. He's God's messenger. And they would block the message. They go from house to house. Paul's friends hide him from one place to another. Now he is not afraid of dying, but he does not want to die at this point because he has more work to do. His mission is not yet ended. So Paul wishes to remain alive, and God's friends and his friends work together for his security. I'm glad this evening that I don't care what the constituents are trying to do, God always got somebody that was set up for him. I like what Dr. Scott read this morning in that unusual and very familiar psalm that he prepares a table before me in the presence of my enemy. And I don't wonder what my enemies hate to see. I just thank God that he causes them to see. Can I preach this thing? His mission is not yet ended, so Paul wishes to remain alive. God's friends, they're working together. Well, what are they to do finally to rescue him, get him out of the city? They can't get him out of the gates of the city because the Damascus constituary is stationed at the gate, and they can't do it that way. But Damascus was a walled city. Many of the houses was built on the wall. The balconies projecting outwardly, and a great many of the people had baskets. They would let their baskets down to let fruits and other edibles, and then they would pull the basket up again. Well, having these baskets saved them from having to go down and come back. They just used the basket. They decided to put the preacher in these baskets. He tells us through a window in a basket was I let down by the wall and escaped the hands of the opposition. this text say to you and me today to begin with? The text says that in many cases, great results come from a slender thread. Well, you see, Paul was let down in a basket so that the Christian religion would not have to be deprived. The kingdom would have been deprived of the great missionary work that Paul did in the cities that he had went to. Oh, so many times great results depends upon a small operation. Well, let me put it to you this way. In Edgeworth's house in England, the parsonage caught on fire. 7 of the children were rescued. One child woke up and found his bed on fire. He appeared at the window and 2 men stood under the window. One man stood on the ground and the other man stood on the other man's shoulders and brought the child to safety. Now, that child was John Wesley.
All right.
John Wesley rode 250,000 miles to preach 40,000 sermons in 50 years.
All right.
My brothers and sisters, in so many cases, great things hang on a slender thread. Well, take Moses. His mother put him in a basket. She puts the basket out on the bosom of the Nile. Suppose some cow had come to drink from the Nile. He had stepped on that basket, or suppose some crocodile had got hold of the baby. Brothers and sisters, riding in that basket was the lawgiver. Riding in that basket was the man that was speak face to face with God. Riding in the basket was the one who was destined to take a people with the smell of brick and dust in their gums and fashion them into a nation. That's the nation that God gave us, Joshua, the sun stopper. That's the nation that gave us Joseph, the world's first secretary of agriculture. That's the nation that gave us Jeremiah, the weeping prophet. That's the nation that gave us Isaiah, the most eloquent among the Hebrew prophets. And I preach it like I feel it. That's the nation that gave us Habakkuk, who, when he couldn't understand the prosperity of the wicked and the adversity of the righteous, he said, I'm going up to the watchtower. And I'll wait to see what the Lord will say to me. Oh, my brothers and sisters, in so many cases, great results hang on a slender thread. Well, but this text teaches something else. It teaches that there are no insignificances in our life. This text teaches that everything you say is important. Everything you do, the text teaches the magnitude is made up of the many. This text teaches that infinity is made up of the infinite. This text teaches that the aggregation is made up of a number of small things. Number of small things make a great aggregation of things. There isn't anything in life insignificant. So whatever you do the best you can. Well, and then this text teaches us, brothers and sisters, that names are not so important. Well, you see, we've not given the name of the man that made the rope. We're not given the name of the man who made the basket. Every pastor understands what I'm talking about, for you got so many sensitive people. If they pick up a piece of paper off the floor, you got to call their name. If it's raining in the church and they pull the window down, you got to call their name.
All right, now say that.
But this text teaches that the Bible is full of unknown sins. Bible is full of people who did great things, and you don't even know their name. Silent majority. Well, you hear Andrew saying there is a lad here. Well, what does he have? He's got 5 body loaves,
2 fish.
2 small fish. What's his name? I don't know his name. What's his address? I don't know that either. He's just referred to as a lad. Oh, brothers and sisters, the next time you do a good deed and they don't call your name, don't get upset over it. So whether they call your name, fear not. Job said, my witness is in heaven. My record is on high.
All right now.
If heaven knows about it, that's sufficient.
That's all
If
good.
heaven has a record of it, that is sufficient. Well, you hear Jesus saying, go into the city and make ready for us for the Passover, for me to institute the Lord's Supper. Well, you met a man bearing, you will meet a man bearing a pitcher of water. Just follow him. What's his name? Don't know his name. He's just bearing a pitcher of water.
All right.
Well, brothers and sisters, this text teaches us that whatever you do your best. Whatever assignment you have, do your best. Just suppose the man who spun the rope hadn't done a good job
All right.
of it and the rope had broken.
Well,
The apostle would have fallen to his death. I'm glad this evening that spun the rope. The man spun the rope, did a good job of it. I'm glad that the people who worked on the basket did a good job of it. For if the basket had fallen apart, the apostle would have fallen to his death. And so I say to us this evening, whatever your assignment is, give it all you got. But I want to come a little closer. I want to come with you now on the wings of imagination. Years have come and gone. The Apostle Paul is at home with the Lord. The people who remembered, people, some of them that worked on the rope were still living. You can see them sitting around with New Testament manuscripts. Well, they didn't know Paul, but hear them. I hear one saying, I'm not ready to be offered up in the time of my departure is at hand. And then don't you hear another saying, see here what I found, I thought, I speak with the tongues of men. And angels in hell, not love. I am become as sounding brass or tinkling cymbal. And then here another one saying, look here what I found. We know that all things work together for good to them that love the Lord. To them that are called according to his purpose. Yeah. And then don't just hear another one saying, look here what I found. It reads, be not deceived. God is not mocked.
Whatsoever man.
Whatsoever man sow, that shall he also reap. And don't you hear another saying here, what I found? Wonder what did he mean when he said, we know that if this earthly tent be taken down, we have a building not from God. I'm glad about it this evening. A whole lot of you, when you hear the word dissolving, you say, I'm not dissolving. Well, I want to serve notice on you this evening. We all are dissolving.
Yes, we are.
Just go home and look in the mirror. You don't look like you used to look. Yes, you still dissolving. You used to have black hair. Now some neighbors done moved in. Overnight that you wasn't looking for. Used to have good vision.
All right, Pastor.
little sisters. Used to hear real good. But now you got to ask what you say. Used to walk and make long strides. But now your steps been cut down. Used to have good memory. But now you go in the room looking for something. And by the time you get in there, you done forgot what you went in looking for. Tabernacle was wrong. But I'm so glad. I'm glad to see that Jesus is still alive. When I get a joy in here. Yes, a house not made with hands, but eternal in the heavens. I don't know how you feel about it, but I'm glad the rope didn't break. Glad the basket didn't come apart. Paul left so many good things, so many grand things, so many great things, so many comforting things, so many life-changing things, so many heart-warming things, so many soul-reviving things. We would have never known about it if the rope had broken, if the basket had fallen apart. So let me say again, whatever you do, give it all you got. If you got a song to sing, sing your best. If you got a prayer to pray, pray your best. If you got a sermon to preach, preach your best. And don't put it off until tomorrow, for tomorrow is not promised to you. Whatever you can do, do it right now. But back in my home church, where I was baptized, I heard them singing, my Lord calls me by the thunder. He calls me by the lightning. The trumpet sound within my soul. I ain't got long. I ain't got long. I ain't got long to stay here. Well, whatever good you can do, do it right now. Whatever you do, do the best you can. For God is worthy of our best. Christ is worthy of our best. The church needs our best. The kingdom is worthy of all our best. Well, Paul was let down in a basket. But I'm so glad I'm going up there, not in a basket. I'm going up in Jesus. He was let down in a basket. But I think I'll tell you today in closing now, I'm going over in the old ship of Zion. It's an old ship. It's a worthy ship. I've got to close now. You've been reading and I've been reading about all the planes that's been falling. People are buying tickets to ride on the plane, but because it gets you there in a hurry. But I've got a ticket this evening, not on an airplane, but this ticket is riding on the old ship of Zion. She learned it. over here, we got a lot of some more. We're crying sometimes. We're sick sometimes. We're up sometimes. We're down sometimes. But on the other side, it ain't gonna be no more. Those things that trouble us over here won't trouble us over there. Can I get on in this hand? I'm glad this evening. And when I land on the other side, it's going to be Thanksgiving Day. In other words, I'm going to thank him for all he done for me. I'm going to thank him for where he brought me from. I'm going to thank him for every tear I shed. I'm going to thank him for every lie been told. I'm going to thank him for backbiters. I'm going to thank him for gossipers. I'm going to thank him, hallelujah, for saving my soul. Thank you, Jesus. No more heartaches, no more tears, no more sorrow. Joy, joy, joy will come. Joy will find me one of these days, soon and very soon. We're going to see the King. My question to you this evening, are you ready? Are you ready to meet the King? I'm ready, y'all. My heart is fixed. Mine is made up. Hold on to me. Storm may rise. Wind may blow. Lightning may flash. Thunder may roar. But hang on in there. He is your everything. He is my portion. He is my sufficiency. He is with me this morning. Started me on my way. I'm breathing air that I didn't even pay for. Jesus with the Calvary, hungry and died, put him in the grave, went down in hell, got the keys from the devil, came up a little higher, taught a lesson in good housekeeping, folded his garment in a triumphant manner, told death, give me your stainer, don't stain no more. Holy Ghost, moving all around, tell the Holy Ghost, stand still, cause in the morning, I'm coming up out of here. He got up out the grave with all power to save you, power to feed you, power to anoint you, power to heal you, power, show the power. I'm glad, so I'm glad I got Jesus and he got me. Jesus knows me and I know him. Anybody know him? I say, anybody know him? Ain't it all right? Look at your neighbor, grab your neighbor's hand and say, he's all right. He's still on the throne. He's all right. Thank you, Jesus, for one more chance. Thank you, Lord. I'm trying to stop here, but I feel the preach man. Yeah. I'm so glad he walks with me, talks with me, hold my hand.
Take me to the King. I don't have much to bring. My heart is torn in pieces. Take me to the King. Truth is, I'm tired. Options are few. I'm trying to pray, but where